to use either as centerpieces or just to decorate inside the home with. These would all be indoor type things. You would not really want to put them outdoors. They would not be real happy. So this, I've just taken, you can see I haven't even really planted in it. I just stuck, this I would pull off the hanger, of course, so it would be more attractive. But I didn't want to do it for the class. But this is a joy pothos. So you can tell on the joy pothos, the leaves are a little bit smaller, they don't get as big, and it's more of a petite pothos than the regular marble queens and those big ones that you see that go around the house and take over your kitchen. So it stays a little more condensed, I guess. This is paper whites. So paper whites are one of those, it's a bulb. It has a very strong fragrance. So once it's in full bloom and going whole hog, it can almost be overwhelming. So if you're very sensitive to smells, this is probably not one you want to have on your table. Maybe in a sunroom or just not in that main area because it can be a little fragrant. I kind of like it. It doesn't really bother me. We used to have a gal that worked for us that absolutely despised it. So, smell is one of those things that's so individual, you kind of got to make a decision on your own. But just very easy. You see I just stuck all these pieces in this little basket. This is a little moss-covered basket that we do carry 3 different sizes in. But instead of planting in it, I'm just going to set them in it because after Christmas, maybe I'll want my little African violet, I'll get a little pot for it, separate that out, hang your pothos. So it gives you flexibility to take it apart. These are bromeliads. Bromeliads are, I think, very underappreciated. They're a very pretty tropical plant that blooms forever. It's one of those, 6 months down the road, it's still going to look like this. Now, eventually, this blossom is going to fade. Some people, diehard gardeners, go, I'll bring it back and have it bloom again. That's not me. I kind of throw them away, or I give them to someone that is a diehard gardener. But I just toss it because I don't have the patience to try and get them to bloom again. I see it as a living arrangement, like you bring in cut flowers and you enjoy those for a period of time. I feel the same way with bromeliads. I'm going to enjoy it while I have it. When it looks pretty, I'm going to keep it in my house. It's going to have a perfect spot. But when it's done blooming, I'm going to toss it. I feel the same way about orchids. Yes? There is. And we do have some directions down in the garden center that tells you how to do that because it's a matter of keeping them dry for so many days in the light, blah, blah, blah. But some people, if that's your thing, and some people it truly is. They take great joy in getting their orchids to bloom again, bromeliads, then do that by all means. But don't be afraid to toss a plant when you're done with it, too. I'm the same way with poinsettias. I love my poinsettias in the Christmas time. They add so much to the house. But, come February, and it's got one leaf hanging off of it, throw it away. It's okay, I give you permission. You can throw things away. But I'm going to stick this bromeliad in here, too, because it gives it great color. So voila, you've got a really nice, easy put-together basket. You could easily get some sphagnum moss or Spanish moss and just kind of cover these edges so you're not seeing the edge of the pot. Dress it up a little bit more, especially if you've got it on the table. Just a really easy centerpiece of things that you can use later on. You can keep the pothos. Paper whites are going to kind of be done. In our area, paper whites won't come back next year. So if you were to plant them outside, they're not going to come back. They're a little more cold sensitive. They're in the same family as your daffodils and that type of thing, but they're a little too cold sensitive. If you had a nice radiant warm spot, I would give it a try. It never hurts to give things a whirl and see how they turn out. But that's just a really easy, simple little centerpiece to put together. This is another one I threw together. So this one I used ivy in. This ivy is so pretty. I love using ivies, especially with poinsettias. I put in another bromeliad because it kind of gave me some height on there, so everything wasn't one level. Kind of nice to mix things up. You could throw your bows in there on the sides. Put a couple of bows in there. Even taking Christmas ribbon and picks and that type of thing, you could easily stick in there as well. Kind of gives it a little bit more festive flair. So there again, you've got a nice centerpiece for Christmas, but you can pull it apart later and save your ivy. You can plant ivies outside here, they don't mind that. So another just real easy, quick. Oh, sorry, Mr. Wallace. He's okay. I brought these up just to I could have shoved these in there too. This is stock. I'll pass it around because it smells really good. So I could have easily stuck a few in there as well to kind of help with that fragrance type thing. If you like the fragrances, be nice to kind of stick in as your house warms up. You can smell that a lot more. So kind of another fun thing to put in. It will. It'll last a long time. They're fine outdoors too. When we get to the coldest of winter, they might kind of peter out a little bit outside. But sometimes they come back. I've had them come back in my yard, but I can't guarantee that it would. He's being silly. I thought I'd show you these guys because I thought they were really cute. Little reindeers. You can stick your poinsettia in there. Kind of a cute little thing. It also comes in a bigger size for a bigger poinsettia. You could also put in a Christmas cactus. Which Christmas cactus you can get to bloom again. It's one of those ones I wouldn't throw away. I would keep it because it's very easy to get those guys to bloom again. You can stick a little Christmas cactus in there and enjoy that. Kind of fun. Yeah, definitely. Definitely needs a ribbon. Yes. I love the ribbons nowadays because they all come with that wire edge. Remember the old days when you're trying to get your mow to stand up? These are so much nicer. The other thing about these that I love, you can throw it in a box at the end of Christmas and next year pull it out and just kind of replug it. So much nicer. And then here's another Christmas cactus I brought up just to show you. People have Christmas cactuses for years and years and years. Some people have their grandmother's Christmas cactus. They can certainly be very long-lived plants. So a fun thing to play with. Yes?
Can you plant those? I just live in Hawaii, so. But can you plant those outside here?
No. Yeah, we get way too cold. It's kind of the same thing. I can always tell when people move from California or warm climates, because they'll buy a poinsettia and they put it by their front door. And you kind of go, yeah, it's not going to last. We get way too cold. I remember going by, it was a couple of years ago, I was putting up wreaths on the gates at Prescott Lakes. And one house out there, this beautiful house, they probably had about 6 poinsettias sitting out front. I felt so bad because I knew they weren't going to last. So I didn't. I should have. Put them inside, put them inside. But if you're used from the valley or California, you may be used to putting it outside. Don't do that here. Will not be a happy camper. Your Christmas cactus you could put out in the summertime on a covered deck, if you wanted to, but not out in the full sun. You certainly can't take our cold. Put together using the white poinsettia. The other thing I threw in here was a cyclamen. This is like my new favorite plant. I don't know why. I kind of ignored them for years. But they're so versatile. You can grow them inside your house. grow them outside. I've had some in pots going on 3 or 4 years now. When it gets really, really cold, they kind of take a little bit of a hit, but they come right back. So, and they just keep blooming for a really, really long time. The buds kind of start down in here and they come up. They come in reds and pinks and purples. A really fun plant to experiment with if you haven't done cyclamen. I would highly recommend it. So I stuck him in here for some more color. White poinsettias, I have to say they're not my favorite, but when you mix them with other things, they can be very attractive because the white offsets the red, so you're actually seeing the red a little bit more. So don't discount them. It can be pretty, and certainly mixed it with this ivy that has the white edge to it as well. So it kind of had a nice mix to it. Another little pretty little bowl. Don't discount your little Alberta spruce. Very fun to decorate with. You can put them outside by your front door. If you've got tables out on your patio and you want a little something cute to decorate with, the Alberta spruce are amazing little plants. If you're going to bring it inside, I wouldn't have it in probably more than 5 days, probably max, just because you're going to start limiting its ability to readjust to being back outside. So you can certainly bring outdoor plants in, your living trees. You can bring them in, just don't leave them in very long because they're going to really suffer from that. But it's so fun to put the little balls on, some ribbons, just kind of have it by your front door and decorative for Christmas.